coming and seeing this wonderful artwork. And I'm going to hand her over to Kit, young Kit Geraghty here. He's going to open that evening.
We can forgive a man for making a useful thing as long as he does not admire it. The only excuse for making a useless thing is that one admires it intensely. All art is quite useless. That is how Oscar Wilde summed up the purpose of art. Of course, in order to assess the relative usefulness of anything, you first have to define its purpose. A tin opener is very handy for opening tins, and a penknife can be used for playing the power on. But both would be quite useless if you needed to know which direction was north, or if you had to start a fire. Everything that has a purpose serves another purpose. You work in order to earn money to live, in order to achieve whatever it is you're trying to achieve. In order to move on to the next thing, and if you carry this to its logical conclusion, you have to eventually conclude that the purpose of life is to get to the end. Possibly leaving a legacy for others to continue the race so that they can get to the end of their lives and so on. All the artists involved in this exhibition are also musicians, and from a musical perspective, there really is no ultimate purpose. To quote Alan Watts, when we make music, we don't do it in order to reach a certain point, such as the end of composition. Because if that were the purpose, then the best musicians would be the fastest. Also, when we're dancing, we're not aiming to arrive at a particular place on the floor as in a journey. When we dance, the journey itself is the point. As when we play music, the playing itself is the point. Life is like music for its own sake. We are living in an eternal now, and when we listen to music, we're not listening to the past. We're not listening to the future. We're listening to an expanded present. There are those who would have us think that culture and the arts should conform to certain standards, and be kept pure and protected from unwanted influences. But they should have a purpose, and that there should be people who are qualified to judge whether a given art form makes a grade or not. That's not the philosophy of this exhibition. To us, the idea that foreign influences could dilute a culture is akin to thinking a stew could be diluted by the addition of new vegetables and herbs. All culture is created by people as they live their lives, and its only purpose is to allow people to express themselves in the eternal now. All people have culture. It's universal, and it's expressed in every way, from the nuances of a regional accent, to great frescoes in Venetian churches, gypsy music in Romania, to the strange Tibetan custom of sticking your tongue out at guests. While other cultures may often seem strange to us, we all have culture, and let's face it, it's a lot more fun if we share it. As long as we're not proposing to lock people in a room and force them to enjoy our culture, there's no reason why anyone should feel the need to obtain permission to engage in cultural self-expression. In the end, the only qualification anyone needs to create art, music, poetry, or dance is the desire to do so. And the only person qualified to judge the relative merits of said art is the person or persons whose self is expressing. Ordinary people look at artists, musicians, and dancers, and they say things like, "I always meant to learn the violin," or "I've got a great idea for a novel, if only I had the time." But the problem is the one major difference between artists and ordinary people. The big secret between artists and ordinary people is nothing at all. Whatsoever or in any meaningful way. All art comes from people, and all people are artists. If you want to do it, do it, and if you don't, don't. The other big secret is, of course, that there is really no such thing as an ordinary person. It is in the nature of people to be extraordinary. It's what makes us tick. There's no universal measure for what is ordinary. There are only conventions, and these change constantly, like the seasons of the year. As Albert Einstein says, everyone is a genius. Everyone's a genius, but if you judge a fish by its ability to climb a tree, it would live its whole life thinking it's stupid. And in the pointed words of Frank Zappa, if you wind up with a boring, miserable life because you listen to your mom and your dad and your teacher, your priest, and some guy you saw on TV, then you deserve it. Here is some art for you. People either like it or dislike it, or have opinions, or just enjoy the sublime nature of art itself. Go home and create your own art if we like, we don't mind. For the next few hours, self-expression will be encouraged, with the proviso that anyone whose self-expression interferes with anyone else's self-expression, or their own enjoyment, that there is a group expression which takes the form of the removal of unwanted irritations. Other than that, please feel free to sing, dance, play music, read poetry, or otherwise express yourselves. Not only is there no time like the present, there is no time other than the present. We live in an eternal now, and all that we have are these moments together. Let's enjoy them.